Hello everyone. In this video we will discuss the paper titled, Self-attenuating adenovirus enables production of recombinant adeno-associated virus for high manufacturing yield without contamination. It was published in the journal Nature Communications in 2022. The paper describes a new method for producing recombinant adeno-associated virus, AAV vectors. AAV vectors are used to deliver genes to cells, and they have potential applications in gene therapy and vaccination. However, the current methods for producing AAV vectors are inefficient and can lead to contamination. The new method described in the paper uses a self-attenuating adenovirus, ADV, to produce AAV vectors. ADV is a modified adenovirus that has been disabled so that it cannot cause disease. However, ADV can still be used to deliver genes to cells. The authors of the paper showed that the new method was able to produce AAV vectors with high yields and without contamination. They also showed that the AAV vectors produced using the new method were able to deliver genes to cells in mice. The authors concluded that the new method is a promising way to produce AAV vectors for gene therapy and vaccination. Here are some of the key findings of the paper. A new method for producing AAV vectors using a self-attenuating adenovirus was developed. The new method was able to produce AAV vectors with high yields and without contamination. The RAV vectors produced using the new method were able to deliver genes to cells in mice. In the first step, they created a recombinant ADV that contained the genes for the AAV capsid and rep genes. The capsid is the protein shell that surrounds the AAV genome, and the rep genes are responsible for replicating the AAV genome. In the second step, the authors infected cells with the recombinant ADV. The ADV infected the cells and replicated its genome. However, because the ADV was disabled, it could not cause disease. Instead, it produced AAV vectors that contained the genes for the capsid and rep genes. The authors then purified the AAV vectors from the infected cells. They showed that the AAV vectors produced using this method were able to deliver genes to cells in mice. Here are the steps in more detail. Create a recombinant ADV that contains the genes for the AAV capsid and rep genes. Infect cells with the recombinant ADV. The ADV infected the cells and replicated its genome. The ADV produced AAV vectors that contain the genes for the capsid and rep genes. Purify the AAV vectors from the infected cells. The authors showed that the new method was able to produce AAV vectors with high yields and without contamination. They did this by comparing the yields of AAV vectors produced using the new method to the yields of AAV vectors produced using a conventional method. They also showed that the AAV vectors produced using the new method were free of contamination by other viruses. The new method described in the paper is a significant advance in the field of AAV production. It is more efficient and less likely to produce contaminated AAV vectors than conventional methods. This could lead to the development of new gene therapy and vaccination treatments. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit the like button. Your support means a lot to us and helps our channel grow. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any future content. We appreciate each and every one of you for being part of our amazing community. Thanks again for your support, and we'll see you in the next video.